Hello, welcome back to the series as we still look for games to play with each other and to be able to fellowship, to build, to grow with each other, and to have fun and chillax. So we're still looking at games, and I stumbled across this game, RuneScape. A lot of people played it back in the day. I have only for a temporary time, but it wasn't really my cup of tea. But we're gonna see
Today's video is
from
brought to you by
Jimmy.
the lovely folks down at Squarespace.
Okay, Squarespace. Alright, about to see what Jimmy has to say.
Last week, I went onto the old school RuneScape homepage and started thinking about the number of people playing. That's when I realized there's two types of players within this cluster of people online. The ones who are enjoying their time and having fun with whatever grind they're taking on, and then the ones who have fallen too deep into the depths of RuneScape, praying that their internet somehow goes out so they can finally be free of this game that they hate so much, yet cannot bring themselves to log off. So then, I jumbled a bunch of unorganized thoughts onto a Word document, turned on my camera, and attempted to address two things. One, how can I explain to a normal, functional human being that this many people play RuneScape in 2020? Two, how can I help those miserable people who don't want to be playing feel less miserable when they log in? This is what I came up with, so good luck.
Hey, do I look good, guys? I look good over there? He said I look good, so I think I'll start talking now. Hey, this is a very sporadic video. I was procrastinating by release. I just had this idea in my head, so I, decided to film myself. Let's talk about this. The title is up. Wait, no. Title is down there now. This is an observation, and it might help people, and maybe it'll be a guide by the end. I don't know. Let's just see what happens.
Why people still play RuneScape in 2020?
Before I made by release, I could not stand this game. Because I've played this game since 2006. I was ready to move on and do literally anything else, play anything else. But as you may already know, that's not really possible with RuneScape. Because if you didn't quit this game before you entered high school, you're still here. What's going on? There's a very famous saying, there's no such thing as quitting RuneScape, only taking breaks. Those breaks range anywhere from 2 hours to 11 years. Take my buddy Nine Rain, for example. He quit the game after the wilderness was removed. Did not come back until 2018, and oh, look at that. What's he doing? What's that guy up to? Oh, he's making RuneScape video. Oh, yeah. Hope you had a nice break, Nine Rain. Welcome back. It's just how it works. I don't make the rules, but we're forced to follow them. It's incredibly difficult to explain this to anybody who has either never played RuneScape or somehow quit when they were younger. I recently became pals with General Sam. He didn't quite understand why I'm playing RuneScape in 2020.
Hey, can I tell you something that's gonna piss you off?
Yeah.
I've never played RuneScape. Not once.
Ever?
Ever. I've never even loaded that game up.
Really?
Yeah. Your entire craft is a sham in my eyes.
All of these other games, they invite you to partake in their narrative, in their storyline. Witcher 3, for example. Hundreds of hours of exploring, a ton of side missions for you to discover. Another good one, Skyrim. Huge exploration factor. You can pick a class to build your character around, melee, mage range. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, one of the best games I've ever played. All the different scenarios you can find yourself in shape one of 9 possible endings. I'm getting a phone call. Not allowed. We're busy. We're talking about video games. It's more important. So with that in mind, here's the difference between those games and RuneScape. Those other games' stories, the devs are aware of every possible scenario you can end up with. You are partaking in their story. The RuneScape story? That's the RuneScape story. Those numbers are the meat, the juiciness, your narrative, your plot twists. It's all right there. RuneScape is not something you just go into delving into the storylines. Even being around for almost 20 years now, the large majority of players probably have no idea about half the lore in this game. I didn't until I started by release. Because this whole world, it's not meant for you to experience. This world is built to experience you. I know, I'm so fucking inspiring, dude. That's awesome. Get goosebumps? Yeah, you're a pussy, you did. It is the only world that actually lets us become immersed.
Please.
In other games, you can put 300 hours of gameplay in, get 100% completion. You don't just complete RuneScape. It's kind of impossible. The reason I say that is yes, you can max out every skill. I'm not talking just 99s, I'm talking 200 mil XP in each skill, which takes... Fuck, I don't understand that. I can't explain that to other people. I'm sorry. But even if you did do that, that's not necessarily their definition of being completed. They move on to the next goal. Let's look at this maniac, for example. Well over 1 million people tuned in to see this guy's 7,000 hour story. Once he completed that story, he was not completed, clearly. He took it to the next level. He was like, I'm just gonna stay in this part of the world now, and this part really fucking sucks, so you might want to tune into this. Which inspired a lot of other people to pick up a pen and start writing. I think that's about as best as I can explain this giant black hole we've all been sucked into and can never escape. So here's why we find ourselves forcing enjoyment while playing this game. In most scenarios, people set a goal for themselves. Account builds, maxing stats, obtaining endgame items. It makes you work for that shit. Long, tedious, disgusting grinds. You will find yourself doing things over and over and over again. You go to sleep and you dream of RuneScape grinds, scared out of your mind when you wake up realizing you didn't do any of that. Lost in an existential crisis, hoping to God you can somehow escape, but you can't because you need that item or you need that 99. You've been dreaming of it for so long as a child. And if you haven't felt that way yet, you will. You totally will. You definitely will. So here's some advice from the master of XP waste and advocate of inefficiency on how to enjoy RuneScape, I guess. Perhaps. Chances are you have a main account. That account has no restrictions. Train anything you want, however you want. Make money however you want. You can get that quest cape, max that skill. You can do whatever you damn please. But good God, that shit can get boring. So a long time ago, 2 different account builds were created. We got the Pures and the Skillers. At first, Pures were just... I'm not training defense. I'm gonna hit some fatty numbers on some assholes in the wilderness that are really low combat, and I'm gonna be the same combat as them, and they're gonna ask what the fuck just happened. And then Pures started evolving. Pures had somewhat of a restriction because you couldn't attack things with the defensive style selected, which I would know nothing about. If I made a Pure, would never touch the defensive attack style. That is like the last thing I would ever do. Fucking piece of shit. Skillers, no combat, pacifist baby. The guys who wouldn't hurt a fly, but they would call you some pretty mean names given the chance. Seeing a level 3 with a 99 was incredible. It's a very dignity-crushing feeling. They couldn't walk in certain areas of the game because you would get dropped by like a level 14 monster. It's fucking embarrassing. So those 2 account types were the first class of a restricted account. You know, add a little salt and pepper to their gameplay. And restrictions is the key term here. I'm not sure who it was that started it, but Bodhi kind of made this concept popular with his one-man army series of not trading players or using the Grand Exchange, playing RuneScape as if it was single player.
I've got to do this. It's such a grind, but...
Jagex actually officially implemented code into the game that allowed for people to become Iron Man accounts, which was exactly that. We've got the hardcore Iron Man. If you die at all on this account, you lose your status as hardcore. That account type is actually way more bizarre on RuneScape 3. If you die on your hardcore Iron Man, it logs you out and you cannot log back in. That shit is extreme. I'm not entirely sure when they were getting posted, but there was a guy on Reddit who was posting little snippets. He was not only playing as if it was single player in this one-man army Iron Man mode, but he also wasn't using the bank. So he was limited to only the items he had in his inventory and his equipment slots. I remember seeing him dropping all of his stuff to get onto the Monk Island, beat the fucking boss there, get back and pick up his items in time, and he did it, and it was insane. That was a cool thing to see for the first time. And that led to Ultimate Iron Man, and now it's a super popular story to read. So regarding to enjoying RuneScape, this is kind of the whole point. Give yourself a challenge that you were kind of hesitant to try. Obviously, being a person that wasn't too into the whole grinding thing, by release has been a crazy-ass challenge, but it turned out to be really fun, and there's been some times with that account where I procrastinate recording because I'm busy grinding and I'm actually enjoying grinding, which I've never experienced before until by release. With the PvP videos I put out, I've created 3 different Pure accounts now, and I learned how to PK, and if I can learn how to do it, you sure can, because I suck at this game. I have a really fat KD, by the way. I'm good, depending on who you ask. This game is built around grinding, obviously, and there's a lot of plugins and different things in the game that can keep you on track and inform you of how you're doing with that grind. Turn that shit off, man. You ever sit in a classroom and you're just looking at the clock that's on the wall, just waiting for it to tick down slowly so you can get the hell out of there, go home, probably play this fucking game? That's what those glow bullshit things are. Those glowing circular orbs, man. Those are fucking clocks in a classroom. If it's like an aesthetically pleasing thing for you, go ahead, keep on it. If you think about grinding any way like I do, that is my worst nightmare. They serve no purpose towards your grind other than just a constant reminder of how slow things are going. There's also a secret technique not many people know about. If you go into your settings, you can actually turn the XP until thing off when you hover over one of the skills. Back in the day, XP until was not a thing. You had to do math. Fucking math. That was like the first clock that they put in the game. Because you would just hover your mouse over after every other action you were doing just to like see it go down slowly. Just slowly watching it. Just watching it go down real slow. How much longer is this? It's like a brain dead asshole just staring at that thing, hovering your mouse over. Turn it off, dude. It makes things go by so much faster, I swear by it. I think probably the biggest thing I've learned in my time, not only on RuneScape, but YouTube especially, stop being afraid to XP waste. You're playing a video game, man. You can still accomplish things and have fun here and there. You know that, right? I made that comparison in the construction video of how we've turned playgrounds into offices. That's not literal, fucker. Take off your suit and tie, go do what I did the other day and start role-playing in houses.
What do you think you're doing?
The fuck is Sampletics? The question we've all been wondering.
Oh my god.
But
Simpletics.
please don't.
Oh god.
Don't. Have some fun, man. I have like this whole event committee. God bless them. They just organize events for people. Sometimes they have to do with skilling, but most of the time it's like a mini game or something you normally would never do if you were by yourself. Another thing, teach yourself how to make videos with your account. That adds a whole lot of spice. I would use RuneScape as nothing more than a medium to make machinima skits on. I would never do anything remotely productive on the game. I would wander around looking for the next thing to make fun of. You can totally do that, dude. You're not obligated to do anything. You're not employed by RuneScape. I mean, I'm kind of employed by RuneScape. Technically, as of now. I don't want to be. I would love to not be employed by RuneScape. Watch my fucking Tarkov video. Try a buy-release account if you want to. Just don't make a video that's funnier than mine. This video has been all over the place. I don't even know if I've answered the question. I really don't. We'll all be fine. We'll all get through this together. This eternity-long black hole that we are forever in for as long as we're breathing. But yeah, I think that's all I have. I mostly just wanted to point out about how fucked up it is that we can't get out of this scary place. All right, well, before we get out of here, I guess I should tell you about the company that's putting food on my table. It's not YouTube. You guys look like a bunch of people who would love to have a website. Kind of seems like you're begging to have a website, if we're being honest. My friends over at Squarespace think so too. Imagine having a domain named after yourself, selling whatever you damn please, writing about the quirkiest thing that could come to your head. Look at all the templates. That's a lot of templates. It's a never-ending supply of templates. Oh, traffic analytics. God, I love traffic. Look at those line graphs. That's hot and cool. Squarespace.com/Jimmy to save 10% on your first website or domain.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you made it this far...
Okay, so we're actually going to subscribe to this dude. That was, I would say that was freaking hilarious. So what do I think? Apparently there's no goal, and you just apparently make your own goal and just have fun and just do whatevs, apparently. I don't know if there's quests. I don't know if there's like certain missions. It doesn't look like that. It like I don't know. I don't know if it was all explained in this video, but it was it was hilarious though. But do y'all still play RuneScape? Should I play RuneScape? Mentioned that he went over the old school RuneScape, not the apparently there's a new school RuneScape. So tell me if that's something. I might do that next video to react to it. If there's an MMO that you would like for me to play, it doesn't have to be an RPG. It can be like a card game, like we use Hearthstone, racing game, Need for Speed World. We looked at that in games like FPS, like Call of Duty, online stuff. So there's a game that you play and that I play or want me to play, and that we can just enjoy each other's company. See you guys and girls next time.